She couldn't see, she couldn't hear, and by the age of 2, she couldn't speak. Most people would have quietly accepted that this was the end of the story, that this child would live her life in darkness, silence, and isolation. But this is not a story about what was taken from Helen Keller. It is a story about what she refused to give up. Helen Keller was born healthy, like any other child. Then, suddenly, an illness struck. No one fully understood it, but when it passed, it left her blind and deaf. Imagine waking up and the world is simply gone. No faces, no voices, no words, no explanations. Just confusion and frustration with no way to express it. Helen became angry and withdrawn. She broke things, lashed out, and pushed people away. Not because she was difficult, but because she was trapped inside a body that could not communicate. Her family was told, again and again, that nothing could be done, that she would never learn, that this was simply her fate. For many families, that would have been the end of the effort. But Helen's parents refused to give up, and eventually, a young teacher named Anne Sullivan arrived. Anne did not see a lost cause. She saw a human being waiting to be reached. She began spelling words into Helen's hand, day after day, patiently tracing letters into her palm. Nothing seemed to work. Days passed. Weeks passed. There was no response. No sign of understanding. Every attempt ended in failure. It would have been easy to stop. It would have been easy to say the experts were right. Then one ordinary moment changed everything. Anne placed Helen's hand on the running water and began spelling a word into a palm. Water. Over and over again. And suddenly, something clicked. For the first time in her life, Helen understood that things had names, that the world was not chaos, but meaning. In that single moment, the door to language, thought, and connection was open. From that point on, Helen was unstoppable. She learned words, then sentences, then ideas. She learned to read Braille. She learned to write. She learned to speak by placing her hands on people's lips and feeling the vibrations of their voices. Blind and deaf, she still found a way to communicate with the world. Helen Keller went on to attend university, something many thought was impossible. She became a writer, a speaker, and an advocate for people with disabilities at a time when society largely ignored them. She did not live a small or hidden life. She stepped forward and made herself heard in a world that once believed she never could. Helen Keller once said that character is not formed in comfort or ease, but through hardship and suffering. She did not choose her circumstances, that she chose her response. And that choice changed her life. Heroes do not wear capes. They wake up in impossible situations and keep going anyway. When the world tells you there is nothing you can do, remember Helen Keller. Progress often begins the moment you refuse to accept silence as the final answer.